What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Quadcast, the show where we get real, get raw, and get loud about mental health, substance use, and the fight to take our lives back.
Each episode, we're cutting through the stigma, dropping knowledge, sharing stories, and bringing the heat with guests who have lived it and aren't afraid to talk about it.
So turn it up, lock in, and let's break barriers, spark change, and build a community that refuses to stay silent. You're tuned into the Quadcast, and let's get into it.
You can find us on Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, or email us. The Quadcast is always looking for new guests, whether you're individuals that have experienced it, you're in law enforcement, treatment programs, nurses, doctors, or anyone that just has something to say. Come share your story with us on mental health or substance abuse.
Warning, there's cussing in this video. If you don't like swear words, well, you're
watching the wrong damn show.
And just a little, thing I like to tell people. I don't recommend this, but I was talking to a guy on Facebook for about a year about he was in Liberia.
Mm-hmm. Risky.
Yeah.
Risky. Especially more so probably in today's time than then. Just between, the amount of scamming that goes on.
Well, that's the thing. And so he was a pastor. He ran a school over there. And again, I was kind of venting him for about a year. But I wasn't attached to any organization. It was literally me and him talking. So we get the idea to, dig some wells.
Mm-hmm.
That was what I wanted to do, was dig new water wells for people, fresh water. So we had it planned out that we were going to dig 3 wells in the month time that I was there. And each well cost, I think, $3,200.
How deep is that?
About 25 feet.
It's not bad. Could be a lot worse.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy digging too. It's not too bad. But again, I'm not attached to any organization or anything. So
right.
I had to come up with my flight expenses. Now, a cheap way to stay, like I was telling you earlier, I don't stay in hotels and stuff while I'm over there. I'll stay with the people.
Stay with them.
So I save money that way. I eat local food, all that. But then the wells, the 3 of them. So me and my wife, we came to the conclusion, she was very reserved about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I cashed in my 401k and paid for it.
Really?
Yeah. So, because again, I didn't know whether, not that I didn't have faith, but there's always a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know whether I was going to come back.
Right.
So I would not feel comfortable taking even money from a church that say, hey, we want to help you with this.
Sure.
I don't know whether I'm going to get scammed or not.
Right.
I sent like $9,000 over to this guy at one time.
Holy crap.
And I was like, man, and so I was trying to make this happen.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And for my wife, she is like the financial person in our relationship. She knows, everything, and she budgets, and she talking about a huge leap of faith for her. She's like, oh my gosh, we actually did it. But that's
her
just
decisions get more questionable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I think I'm rubbing off on her. Really. But that was obviously a huge leap of faith for us.
Sure.
And then actually, then I think she really didn't think I was too serious. And that was a big one that she's like, okay, he's serious.
Hmm.
But then the biggest one was when I started getting I still hate shots.
Sure.
And that's what comes weird from my testimony. But my vaccine record was non-existent.
Sure.
So I had to get all these shots. I mean, for 6 months. The health department in Fairleigh, I had a schedule with them. They're like, yeah, you cannot miss one of these.
Damn.
Yeah. And I was getting stuck with yellow fever, typhoid, the hepatitis shots. I didn't have any of that stuff. The flu, the COVID, that was still back when they wouldn't let you travel unless you had COVID. And that was a big leap of faith for me. I was like, man, I don't even know what this is. They're just throwing it out there for everybody, but I got to take it.
Yeah.
Dang. But anyways, so everything worked out. I went over there for my first trip. For 28 days, I stayed over there. And for me, that's huge because I'm telling you now, this wasn't too bad of a trip to your house, but I don't leave White Salt for that much, man. Like what Lewisburg, like I don't like. I always tell people, like, when me and my wife are feeling really adventurous, we go to Beckley.
Hey, Beckley, that's a trip. Man.
Yeah,
that's a trip.
Yeah, so
because you can see everything you need to.
Yeah, so it was a big thing. Like, and people just like, some people couldn't figure it out. They're like, man, like, John, you're going to Africa? Like, I'm like, yeah. I was like, and I went over there. Great experience. But as soon as I, got done with that trip, the whole time, I could tell that there was still, for me, it was like a one-shot deal. Like, I'd done cashed in everything.
Right.
Like, that was my one trip. I wanted to make it, and it did. But then when I was over there, I was like, man, there's so much more need over here. Like, 3 wells ain't gonna cut it.
I was gonna say, once you actually get there and really experience it, it's like an overwhelming dump of kind of like when you're home and you sit around and you're like, man, that needs done, that needs done, that needs done. And there's just not enough time in the day to do it.
Yeah, and that's what and again, another thing, going out of my comfort zone. When I got back here, I was like, I got to start a nonprofit and try to figure something out. So that whole thing, my wife was super supportive of all that. Like, she's pretty much like the accountant of it. And, we started Heart to Serve Missions, and, I got my board members and all that. And, the next year I went back over to Liberia and on to Uganda. Then last year I went to Liberia again and Pakistan.
And this year is the year that COVID screwed up your trip.
Yeah. I was supposed to already be back from Uganda this year, but I woke up New Year's Day with COVID and feeling horrible. I'm like, man, like something ain't right. I was supposed to leave on the 3rd, and I woke up on the 1st sick, and I was like, man, this year is not starting out good. Like, this is horrible. And
it can only get better.
Yeah, exactly. And but within, I don't know, 5 hours of testing positive, I was already able to reschedule my whole trip. Everything worked out. Like, your travel visas and stuff to those countries are good for like 6 months at a time anyway. Okay. So that worked out. So I'm hoping I don't get like the flu or something. Like, that's my biggest worry right now.
You say you're going in February, right?
Yeah. So like, my daughter, she just did get over the flu. I was kind of hoping to get it. Now, it would have threw a curveball at this whole thing.
Oh yeah. Well, we could have rescheduled.
Yeah, but I was like, man, just please let me get it to where I don't have to worry about getting it. Hopefully.
Kind of like when you're sitting around hoping for the chicken pox.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
let me get it so I can stay home.
But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And I still run my own business, and that gives me a lot of freedom to be able to go and meet with people, or even like today.
Yeah.
If I was working for somebody, it wouldn't have worked out today.
So how much has your nonprofit done since it's been running in those places?
So in Liberia, I think we have dug 6 wells. And I mean, it's provided water for over, I feel comfortable in saying, over probably 15,000 people.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Those are very dense populations.
Sure,
But we sponsor schools. We sponsored a school last year. We fed 300 kids every school day for the entire school year. We built houses for people that like live in like shacks, horrible living conditions. But we build new homes from the ground up. We provide Bibles in Uganda in their language. That's a big thing over there. Like, people, they have access to Bibles, but they're not in their language, so they can't read them.
Sure.
So we provide goats in Uganda, which, over here, goat's not a big thing, but over there, it's like you're enhancing the economy of these villages.
It's crazy to think that something so simple here as a goat.
That's what,
is a lot.
So a little bit of Ugandan math for you. So like, if you get a goat and they have, kids, or, let's just say 8 kids, you can keep breeding those. And I think it's like 6 full-grown goats you can trade in for a cow.
Really?
And then the cow, you breed the cow, I mean, obviously now you're messing with big meat. So that's, I mean, then you can sell the cow, you can eat it, you can do, I mean, it is, but getting that first goat is the biggest thing. They don't have enough money to get that first goat to breed it.
How much is a goat over there?
$40.
$40.
Yeah. So some of those people, it might as well be 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so
you got people over here giving them away.
That's what I mean. That's, it's just all the
if
little
they only
creatures.
Knew how much a goat was worth.
Oh yeah, well I mean even over there like guineas.
Yeah.
Horrible little creatures. I don't like them around here. My wife.
Mom wants them. I'm like, wow.
Well, no, that's what. So I'm very ignorant to farm life, and now my wife loves stuff like that. My kids love it.
Yeah.
You know, we have goats, we have chickens.
What kid doesn't like animals without responsibility?
Yeah, that's what I mean. And so she talked me into getting guineas, and this was like 5 years ago, and I was like, "What's a guinea?" And she's like, "Oh, they're really cool. It's like a chicken and turkey.
They eat bugs."
Yeah, and that's what they're like guard dogs. I'm like, okay, so we get them. Most annoying creatures ever. Like literally, like they make horrible noises. And so, long story short, so we get rid of all of ours, thankfully. And I'm over in Uganda. I'm just minding my own business at this in this village. I hear, I was like, oh my gosh, they're over here. Like, and
they follow.
Yes, there's like a huge flock coming right towards me.
Infiltrated.
Yes, I'm like, oh my gosh. That's like, but yeah, in Pakistan, I have 2 different contacts in Pakistan. You know, we do like a lot of teaching over there because you know they're like predominantly, I think it's like 96% Muslim over there. So we speak to a lot of Christians, and the other 4% is like every other religion, like Hindus, all that. And the really cool thing about doing work in Pakistan is like we found 2 Hindu villages that the only access to water that they had, it was good water, but you had to convert to Islam to use it.
Really?
Yeah. And they were so strong in their faith, they didn't. So they had to go to the local watering hole, which is, it was like a different kind of muddy. It was like a sandy muddy.
Like a silt.
Yeah. I mean, just very, very nasty. Like in Liberia, it's like a dark muddy, like what you'd see around here. But so we went to those villages, or my contacts did, and we were able to set up 2 different areas and 2 different well sites in those Hindu villages for them. And we're like, hey, we're Christian, but guess what? You do not have to believe what we believe. Like, we're going to give you this water, like no strings attached. I mean, we even made like concrete basin to hold all the water in, you know, where they could kind of stockpile it and they could just turn the water on, get water anytime they want. I mean, these places are so remote, like the pumps have to be ran by solar.
Really?
Like it's like almost Aladdin like villages.
Sure.
Like grass roofs, very like clay homes. But anyways, and they were like super, you know, happy that obviously there's no strings attached. So when I got there, we also fed the entire community while we were there. And with any area that we're helping with, you know, of course, we'll preach the gospel to people. But like I said before, no strings attached. If you don't accept, you get to keep your water. We're not going to take it back.
Right.
But the coolest thing that happened on that trip was us feeding these people. And there's just something very, I mean, it just, it hits you different being able to help people that you know will never be able to help you.
Sure. Especially the kid aspect.
Yeah.
There's so much young life that is raised in that type of setting that we look at from our side that we just don't even comprehend it.
Well, and one of the coolest things though, because of course we just made big pots of rice. Like they had like different types of flavor, and like you had like sweet rice. And I think you had like rice and beans.
You got fancy with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what they were really excited about, the sweet rice for some reason. But my contact said it's the first time he's ever seen these people so full. Like they were like, I mean, we were getting them seconds, we were getting them thirds, and like they were pushing the plate away, saying no, thank you, no, thank you. Like that's the first time they've probably ever been full in their life.
Wow.
I'm like, man, like that's just crazy to think. Like
it is. Like, I mean, we take that stuff for granted.
Yeah.
So what does it take to like source the materials and stuff that you're using over there? Like that's got to be a struggle and a half. Right?
Well, no, it's not too bad. And now again, I think this is all a God thing. Every contact I have with these countries, they are very resourceful. I mean, even a lot of times, like I don't even have to dig some of the wells majority of the time because number one, we're wanting to hire local help, to employ local help to give these people some money and some work.
Right.
And whether it's building the houses, digging the wells, but all that stuff is all accessible over there. It's just, you know, we fund it.
I have to buy.
Yeah, it's all there. Now, by our standards, you know, their water source is a hand pump.
Right.
You know, anytime, you know, majority of these places, if you go to them, you have to sit there and pump the water and get the pressure up, and it comes out in a steady stream. That's how you get your water. There's no turning a knob or anything.
Right.
These are community wells.
Yeah, hot water.
Yeah, exactly.
Hot and cold.
Oh man, that's a whole different thing. Is taking a cold bucket bath while you're over there.
Oof.
That's a very exhilarating feeling.
It's a hell of a way to wake up.
Yeah, exactly. That's normally I do it at night, because you're dirty and everything.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. But I think in Uganda, you know, I've took it in the morning a couple times, and it's not.
It's a terrible way to start.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, and I try not to scream like a little girl, but it's hard sometimes because, you know, a lot of these people are already, you know, a lot of the kids, I'm the first white person they've ever seen. So they don't even know what to think about my light skin. Mm-hmm. And so then I'm screaming like, you know, wild banshee or something. They're like, oh gosh, like what's this white devil screaming at me for?
That's wild, bro.
But yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Like, what's the mental experience with being over there? Like, there's got to be, what does that do to your mind of being away from your home and your family, but two, providing for that community and doing that?
It's I mean, the feeling that you get from seeing kids, because I always tell the kids when we, you know, hand the pump over to the community, it's like a big ceremony kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I tell the kids, I was like, now look, after I leave, I don't know what happens. I was like, but this is the one day that y'all are going to be able to play in the water and throw it around, have a good time, and just be able to see that happiness. I mean, that, you know, our kids, you know, they do it, you know, just playing out with the water hose.
Yeah.
Any day in the summer.
But these kids, my backboard.
Yeah, these kids have never been able to do that. So being able to see that happiness and all that, and even providing a home for people that were living in a tin shack. But the worst thing is, the mental part is, every time I say yes to a project, that's great, but I have to say no to a few more until I get more funding.
Right.
So
how do you go about getting your funding?
I speak at a lot of churches locally. And a lot of them, I'd say it's probably 70% is from churches, and about 30% is from just individual donors. But the churches have really amazed me in so many different ways. Like, there's little churches that might have 10 people in them. I mean, and you know, you would look at that church and like, okay, well, they can't help out a lot.
Right.
They'd give me like $3,000.
Oh wow!
Like it's like crazy. And but then on the other aspect, like you go to some of the bigger churches, and they won't even look at you.
Really? That's. I think, you know, on that aspect, you know, I think that's what a lot of people could look at and get a bad taste.
Oh yeah.
The spiritual living.
Mm-hmm. Well, what you got to look at too, and this, I'm very grateful for the process of this, of learning that through this process, is a lot of us as humans, we look at a healthy church by the numbers, mm-hmm. but I've learned to look at it from the heart issue or standpoint, because again, that little church, by our standards as a society, they are a dying church. The average age is probably 75.
Right.
And they don't have any young people in there. And again, you would look at that church like, oh man, they're in pretty bad shape now. But their hearts are so pure.
They're thriving in different ways.
Yes, exactly. Like they have that servant mentality.
Yeah.
They see that need and they want to help. But then you have a church of 1,000 saying, we're good. And again, now just because you don't help Heart to Serve missions,
yeah, sure.
I'm not condemning you to hell. but again,
but it helps.
Exactly. It couldn't hurt. But there's a lot of churches that have really stepped up. And I mean, it's been so encouraging for me. And it's been really cool, too, to get a sense of community. Because just by nature, us as, Christian society, you find that one church and you go to that church.
Sure.
Until you don't. But with this has given me the opportunity to go around and get that sense of community and meet other brothers and sisters in the faith that are like-minded, that want to help. And it's been really cool.
So how do you choose the projects that you're going to accept?
That's the hard one. Because when I'm over there, not only when I'm going over to Uganda this time, I'll be checking on some of the old projects, that have been funded, but I'm also looking for new ones. And
prospect mission.
Exactly. I mean, you're kind of, I'm taking pictures and showing the donors of what their money did on the last time that they gave, but you're showing them what future projects are needing assistance. But so, a lot of times it comes up to like the area, like if a church wants me to fund a new roof for them, but I see a community within the same area that is drinking water out of a puddle,
right,
or a stagnant pool of water, I try to probably more lean towards them rather than a church, because these people, that's just a building.
Right.
Now, sometimes too, I've been humbled with different things of like in Uganda, again, not everybody has Bibles to study at home. Everybody has a Bible in America, right. At least one in your house, probably.
Honestly, up to this point, I've not even been reading them, and I'll probably hit 2.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a staple for every house.
I have at least one, but there's probably 2 more.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, just by culture, we have them in our house, but over there, it's not. So it's literally like going back in time. If they want to get spiritually fed, they have to go to a church.
Right.
And so that's when I try to sympathize with that too. If they're going to a church where it doesn't have a roof, that means they're getting rained on while they're trying to have a church service, right. Any things like that. And a lot of these, now, not to go too much into it, but there's still like wild tribes in Uganda that will come through villages and ransack them.
Really?
So everybody runs to the church building because it's number one, the biggest. It will hold the most people, and you kind of have strength in numbers.
Right.
So instead of them picking off each little hut, they got to mess with the whole group of people. Right. So it also kind of gives people in Uganda is the one place, like, and I'm not going to say exception, like Liberia. It's the third world country version of America.
Okay.
I mean, well, we have a lot of ties with them too, and just by history, but there's churches around every corner in Liberia. Now they might be rougher churches,
right?
By our standards. And but that's just like, I was saying, just to give a little history lesson, like Liberia was actually American owned.
Right.
So it was like Liberia, Liberty.
Okay.
The capital city is Monrovia, mm-hmm. James Monroe.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
makes sense.
There's a lot of connections there. But anyways, they got their independence, but they just looking up the history, man, you have to do it sometime.
Yeah.
A lot of these countries, they go through so many civil wars and stuff, and like genocides. I mean, it's crazy. Like the guys that I serve with in Liberia, they're like, I'm 36, they're like 39, 40.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so they had a civil war breakout. It lasted like 15 years.
Wow.
From like, I think it was 2001, and up till whenever. But they like their childhood. Like I I was 11 years old around that time.
Right.
So they were probably 15, 13, 14, 15. So like my childhood, I was riding bikes, going shooting basketball. They were having to hide in swamps where the guerrilla fighters wouldn't come by and make them child soldiers. That was their childhood.
It's wild to think about.
Yeah. I mean, just the stuff that they lived through. I mean, and then you like their faith in God is so, I mean, it's inspiring, I guess would be the word. I mean, these people by our standards have nothing.
Right.
And they're praising God for what they do have. But in so many, I've tell them, and I know they don't believe me. I don't even know whether it helps or not, but I tell them, I was like, y'all have so many less distractions in these areas than we do. Like it's a lot easier to be a Christian in these countries, in the sense of your faith. You don't, there's so many distractions in America. It's not even funny.
Right. Their simplicity is
I mean,
all around.
Well, and even their sense of community. Now, I can't speak from experience, but let's just go back to 50s, 60s areas, 70s in America. You didn't have neighborhood watches. You knew your neighbors. Everybody communicated. You had cookouts. There was a lot more sense of community.
Everybody got along.
And over there, it's the same way right now.
Really?
Like that's one of my favorite things to do in like Liberia is to set up on my contact's roof. He has a flat rooftop that I can just set up there on the cool nights and catch a little breeze, and you can hear the whole community. Really? Of course, it's so dense.
Sure.
But little kids laughing, people kind of doing what we would call porch setting.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's very refreshing because we don't have that here anymore.
I mean, you have lights everywhere.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And they have random blackouts too in all these countries where like literally about like what we were talking about earlier, lights out.
That's crazy.
And that's just from, I guess, overloading the grid.
Sure.
Because you have like random people just tying into electricity and like making their own electricity. It's wild, man.
That stuff gets you felony.
Yeah, that's over there, man. Like it's definitely not OSHA approved. A lot of those places.
Not even close. That's wild. So we were talking earlier about Pakistan and having a drug problem there.
Yeah.
What is a drug problem there compared to a drug problem here?
I would say, I guess by their standards, it's bad, but by our standards, like we have an epidemic here.
Sure.
But over there, it's not as accessible because there's the money. The flow of money is not the greatest over there.
Right.
But it's still a problem. And now this is where you can kind of get into biased opinions. Again, they're 96% Muslim. The theory is over there that they bring the drugs into the Christian neighborhoods to try to keep them at bay to where there's not any opposition towards their power. So a lot of your drug addicts over there are Christian.
Okay.
Yeah.
So almost population control.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. I mean, it's just it's kind of too, and as we've seen,
they didn't have that enough. Yeah. By their beliefs, anyways.
And you're killing off that next generation coming up.
Right.
The younger generation. And that's where it was a very humbling moment for me was when I'd be sharing my testimony over there. And I found out a lot after I came back, but while I was there too, that a lot of people were able to sympathize with me of my story because they have a relative or whatever, they're themselves are dealing with drug addiction. And I was amazed at that. I did not even know that was an issue there because, obviously when you're in a country like that, I mean, you don't get all the information about it, but there is a bad drug problem there. And a lot of the guys that, like, there was even some guys that would come up and talk to me afterwards and say, hey, I have that problem that you speak of.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, and of course I would pray with them, and just the challenges over there are so, different. Like I would say, okay, I'm going to get you a Bible. And, but a lot of them that they can't read. So that's that source of freedom. It can't do them any good. Now, there's different options I'm trying to look into, like audio Bibles and stuff in their language. I'm looking into stuff like that for the future, but it's very challenging trying to help people in those third world countries with that issue, because again, we use drugs over here and we think we have it bad, but the stigma over there, I mean, those people are literally living in horrible conditions, and they're trying to escape that just a little bit by drug. I'm not justifying it, but
no, sure.
I can see why they would be.
It's an outlet.
Yeah,
they don't have to sit around and look at what their situation may be.
And that was a very, because again, I was kind of not that I was ashamed of it at all. I guess I could just get kind of caught up in the here and now. I kind of set on my testimony sometimes, and I don't mean to, but that was a very eye-opening moment for me over in Pakistan. Like, your story, it can help people.
Yeah.
And again, when I first got saved, I was telling my testimony to anybody that would listen. Again, you just move on in life.
But were you telling it as deep as you tell it now?
Yeah.
Even right after from the beginning.
Yep.
But that's good. I mean,
that's what. And again, sometimes I would leave details out, not on purpose.
Yeah.
Just because like there was one where I didn't. One of my contacts, he told me that I forgot to tell that I ended up marrying my wife. I forgot that part. I'm like, oh, I was like, she was a very important part to my story. Like,
oh, she's a very crucial part. Like, she's got some secrets that we're gonna have to bring out.
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, she might be up for it.
Hey, I'm telling you, we'll take her.
She's probably worse than me once you get her going.
Well,
yeah.
Well, we can cut her off. I really just have one big question.
Yeah.
As to why she answered the phone.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's not too many people that would have.
Well, I'd like to think that I was a good catch, and she just didn't want to let me go.
Don't go.
She's not here to say any otherwise. So.
You wait till I get her. I'll have to edit for days so it doesn't hurt your feelings.
Yeah, I'm going to say her word for word would be, I just got lost in his blue eyes. That's what it would be.
Well, I can't really attest to that, so we'll leave that in her hands. But no, that would be a life-changing event to be able to go to those areas and do those type of things.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Quadcast.
Remember, breaking stigma doesn't stop when the episode ends. We're building a movement, and you're a part of it. Stay strong, stay aware, and stay connected.
And this is the Quadcast, signing out.